Hi there, Sam from Sertus here, and today I'm going to be running through some more smoke ventilation jargon. If you missed the first video in this series, I'll link it down below, and if you're on YouTube, I'll add a card somewhere up here. Right, let's jump straight into it. The first point I want to cover in today's video is CFD, or Computational Fluid Dynamics. I haven't been working in the smoke ventilation area for long, but I've heard CFD mentioned countless times already. Well, it turns out CFDs are absolutely crucial for smoke ventilation as they play an integral role in building design. CFD modelling is officially defined as the process of creating a computer model to solve an engineering problem involving fluid flows. In the case of smoke ventilation, the engineering problem is, will the smoke ventilation system work? And the fluid in question is smoke. What this looks like in practice is modelling a typical fire in a worst-case scenario apartment and seeing if the proposed smoke ventilation system meets the pass criteria. Carrying out the CFD is also essential to work out the required flow rate for a mechanical smoke ventilation system. This helps us size the fans and any air inlet sources. Moving on to the next topic now, which is louvers. And no, I'm not talking about the museum in Paris. So, louvers are basically a form of blade which fit into a vent. Why do some vents have louvers and some have single blades or leaves? It's usually down to the size the blade would need to be if there was just one. By having more blades, we reduce the footprint the vent takes up when it's open. This also has the positive effect of reducing the risk of wind damage. Where a gust of wind could damage a single leaf vent, it's much less likely to damage a louvered vent, as the blades are smaller and less exposed. It's not only vents that can be louvered though. You can also get louvered dampers. Again, the benefit is taking up less depth in the smoke shaft. The thing to bear in mind is that having multiple blades instead of one large one takes up free area, meaning the vent or damper often has to be bigger if it's a louvered construction. So you can picture what a louvered vent or damper would look like. I'll pop some examples on screen. Now for the penultimate piece of jargon in today's video, ancillary accommodation. These are the parts of a building that aren't part of said building's main purpose, so they're ancillary to the overall use of the building, but remain under control of the premises. To be clear, some examples of these spaces are refuse areas and bicycle storage. These spaces typically require 0.4 meters squared of natural ventilation, but ducting this to the outside takes up a lot of ceiling space, which is very precious. What we'd often do to get around the problems in these tight spaces is to install an equivalent amount of mechanical extract, but of course, every project is different. The final piece of jargon in today's video is Approved Document B. Approved Document B addresses fire safety precautions which must be adhered to ensure the safety of occupants, firefighters, and those close to the building in the event of a fire. There are 2 volumes in Approved Document B. Volume 1 is for dwellings and is where we turn to for most of our information on natural smoke ventilation systems. Volume 2 focuses on buildings other than dwellings and has much less information on smoke ventilation, but does give us guidance on methods of basement smoke ventilation. There are, however, some other very key documents that we'll need to go through. But I think that's enough information for one day, so I'll have a part 3 to this mini-series for you very soon. As always, if you found this video helpful, please hit that thumbs up button. If you're new around here, feel free to click subscribe also. Have a great day and see you in the next one.